Hello everyone, it's another amazing episode of Just a Chat with Bumi Alabi. How are you doing? It's been a while since last week we've left this place. I thank God for the gift of life. I thank God for you that you're watching me right now. So how are you doing? Well, I'm doing fine. I'm doing great and amazing also. So today, we are here today. We always come with different topics to talk about because we know that discussing this about family setting, building a better society, and we believe that a society starts from the family. So family is the basis of our discussion, building a better family for a saner society. So today we are going to talk about another interesting topic. It's a very dicey topic, but by the time we go on, you're going to understand better. So as usual, I'm not alone on this platform. I have my amazing ladies in the house. Let me start from the extreme end. We have, I love to call her Auntie Bosse, but let me just be, I don't want to be too much formal so that they won't think we are too spiritual. I'm calling you Auntie Bosse, but let me call you Bosse. How would that make you feel?
Very cool.
Very cool. I like to tease you a lot. I like to tease you. Let it be. Let it be. It makes you look younger. Feel younger.
Yes.
So what's up? So how are you doing?
I'm fine.
Yeah, okay. Looking cool as usual. Cool, but deep. By the time you start talking, you just be bringing those words. Stylishly, you'll be eating it at eating the nail on the head. It's good to have you back. It's been a while. And I have my sister. I see you are my sister. I mean, I'm not going to call you Vicky because that Vicky, I know you want to look like as young as you are, but you are my sister. But I just want to look like you when I grow up.
Oh my.
She said I should be calling her Vicky. Why would I be calling you Vicky? I should call you Vicky. Just say Vicky. Hey, when this mama wants to, she still want to look young, so she wants us to be on the same level. Okay, Auntie Vicky.
Just Vicky.
Whatever. Okay, in your mind, as if I'm calling you Vicky.
I take that.
Good to have you. You're welcome.
Thank
How are you
you.
doing?
Thank you, babe.
You're welcome. You're looking awesome.
Thank you.
And also, to my extreme right here, I have a guest. He's one that is going to do justice to this topic because it's very, very important in the family setting. And I looked around at okay, who can really talk about this? But when I told him about it, that I'm going to bring you on this show, and he said, "What topic are you going to discuss?" I said, "What topic would you like?" He said, bring any topic. I said, do you know when people hear anything about pastor, any topic that relates to pastor, they will hit you as in, my Russian money, pastor, they have come again, But he said, don't worry, just bring it and I'm going to talk about it. So I have a one and only lead pastor of the House of God Ministry, Pastor Nixon Oniwon.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
To be in your presence.
Good to have you. Good to have you here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. How are the sheep?
Well, bless God.
Yeah, in God's custody. And God puts you in their care to shepherd them.
By God's grace.
By God's grace. Okay,
Yeah,
good to have you.
you.
So we are excited to have you
Pleasure
on
is
the
mine.
seat with amazing women here. Thank you. I know you've been
You're
following
welcome,
our
sir.
program. You see, he's one of our number one fans. Please, let's celebrate him.
Yeah,
One
you're
of our
welcome.
fans
You're
has been
welcome,
encouraging
sir.
this program. You watch it all the time on online. So today, let's go straight to the topic we have here, and I've told you about it. We've observed a lot of things about family, relationship between husband and wife, and we observe some things. It's a common trend we notice, and I believe, okay, let's talk about it, and let's bring somebody who is at the receiving end of this to talk about it so that we can know your own view about it. I wish we could get another man that's maybe will be on the other side, has maybe that has somebody that is doing something like that to so-called men of God, you understand? But I believe you should be able to talk on both sides, and let's see your own view about it. Some men always complain. I'm speaking on behalf of the men now,
okay,
that their wives do honor their father in the Lord more than them. our daddy wa Olúwa, as in that the respect they give to their to their pastors is more than what they give to them at home. Like more than one man. Really, I've said that, and I've even experienced that sometimes before. As in, I've seen it myself. The woman, they could fight, talk. She called the husband names, as in do such different sort of things. And whenever the pastor called, daddy wa pelesa, shewa, in fact, doing all those, and you'll be like, and the husband will be like, normally as a human being, because it could be from either side too. I'm going to talk about the other side of it. When somebody treats another person better than you, that you should enjoy more of that honor, and he or she is giving it to somebody else, you feel intimidated, you feel as if you are not wanted, you feel as if you are not valued. But it is very rampant even in our religious settings, whereby we see that some women, they give honor, they give less honor to their husband compared to their pastors. So we want to know why, and we want to know how pastors or clergymen can, because it could be imam, it could be anybody in high authority, how we can help this, because it is affecting the home a lot. It's affecting the home a lot. So what can you say about this?
Thank you. I really appreciate you. Thank you for having me here today.
You're welcome, sir.
And I would like us to talk about, because honor is a very wide topic. Now, we can talk about honor in respect to giving. We can talk about honor in respect to obeying someone. And we can also talk about honor in respect to respect, as in having a respect for someone, reverence for someone. And either which way, I would like to talk much about respect today, because it's very key. Now, I want us to understand something, that the word reverend was not in the Bible, or it's not in the Bible. And at some point in time, pastors were called reverend from the Anglican. It started from the Anglican, and that's the history of honor. When you greet your pastor, or in the organization, is believe that you must give him honor and a respect that is due to him. That's the origin of the word reverend. And today we have people being ordained as reverend.
Yes.
Now, when we also talk about the home, we must also understand that at some point in time, Sarah has been a major example. He called Abraham Lord. And it's very key we understand that what we are saying here is balancing. Now, there is a way you can respect your pastor, and the respect will now become a dishonor to your husband or your spouse. And there is a way you can honor your husband and at the end disrespect God in the life of your pastor. So it's really about balance. We remember, is it Ananias and when they both said to themselves, see that pastor, we are going to give him scope. So when they got there, the husband was the one to first of all throw the scope and was like, pastor, this is all. Apostle, this is all. And when the wife also came, the wife said the same thing. But you know what the Apostle Peter said? He said, you have not lied to man, but to God. So when we talk about respect, it's really about balancing. It's really about balancing. Everybody deserves respect. Be it your spouse, be it your neighbor, be it your children. Everybody deserves respect. And if you don't give that respect that is due, expect anything. Because it will backfire.
Sure.
See, when you even meet a tout on the road and he greets you, I don't know, maybe if you encountered him and say, Baba Tuale, anything for the boys, and you are like, get out of here. He will change it for you.
Sure.
Because he feels dishonored or disrespected. So when we talk about disrespect, I, as a person, personally, I don't like people kneeling down for me because of my experience. So when you kneel down...
Why, so before you don't go to... Why? You have to tell us the reason, because it is something that a lot of people... No. We've seen it. There are some pastors, Mama, please prepare your own question because I know let's ask him question. There are some women that and some pastors that we even ask for it. If you don't even give it to them, we've seen it that some pastors will even, if you don't kneel down until Papa tells you to stand up, that's when they will stand up. So what do we say? Why don't you like it? Let me ask you.
Number one, there are some things that may look ideal, but they are just customs and culture. Now, this is not a Bible culture.
Okay.
You understand? It's not a Bible culture. Now, if it's not a Bible culture, it depends on the person involved.
Okay.
Now, personally, from experience, if you are kneeling down to greet me too much, I see you as a suspect. I see you as a suspect because I've been greeted with news. And I'm the kind of person that at least God opened my eyes. So there was a particular experience I had. They just finished the gossip. They prayed that even God should destroy me, God should do everything. And the person came and was kneeling down on her knees. I was begging her to stand up. But the Lord was opening my eyes. The more she knelt down, the more I see what they have planned. So I don't see kneeling down as honor. I see when I speak to you and you carry it out, I see it as honor. Even Jesus speaking says, if you love me, you will obey me. So there is a level of honor that comes with obedience. Now, in the same manner, in your home, see, it's not until you kneel down to greet your husband before you honor him. You understand? It's just culture. But you know your husband is your king. Your pastor is your priest. And these two, they deserve honor. But however, there must be a balance. A lady that doesn't honor her husband, that is giving excessive honor to her pastor or her priest, is just a dramatic queen. She's just trying to play what is not real. Because honor starts from within. If you can't give it to the people around you, and you are trying to give it to somebody you think is in a position of honor so that maybe you can get more prayer from him or more favor or something, you are just acting, you are not real. And I know it's true, many women could be dramatic, it's true, but if we will call it a spade, it is very key to understand that when we talk about honor, it's not about kneeling down, it's not about worshiping man. It's about, even when the person is not there, the level of respect you have for the person, can you maintain it when you're not seeing the person? The level of respect you have for your husband, can you maintain it if your husband is not
there?
And you know one reason that ladies may tend not to honor is vice versa. Husband too should respect and honor their wife.
Do you believe that as a pastor?
Yes.
But you don't preach it to a husband that they should respect. All what they want is women that should submit. So that's what most of them, but no, that's not the topic for today. But I want one more question before I give my ladies the chance. Respect and honor could be in another way, maybe doing what your husband and your pastor wanted to do, compared to what your husband wants to do, as in when you are between two decisions. Maybe your husband says you should go right and your spouse is telling you to go the other way. So, and the wife now chooses to follow what Father in the Lord is saying. So is that not a way of disrespecting the husband's opinions?
No, this is where balance still comes in.
Okay.
See, it's about the level of trust you have for the person telling you to do certain things.
Okay.
May not even be your pastor. We had the similar experiences with some women, their boss in the office will tell them to do certain things and they will do it, and their husband will tell them to do it, they will just ignore the husband. Now it's about the confidence you have in the word released to you.
Okay.
So if your husband is someone that you put in most of the time when he tells you certain things, you see it happening, he supports you. So when he tells you to do anything, you won't find it difficult to do, except you are just, we have some women that are naturally stubborn. And when you see people who are naturally stubborn, it doesn't matter who. I have some daughters that will tell me, Baba, she not, you understand? And you can't tie them. You have to respect their opinion. You understand? So it's really about the value you place on the word you are receiving from whoever is saying it.
Gives it to you.
When you marry, especially when your marriage is like 10 years or thereabout or more, there is tendency that the person you are seeing day in, day out, the person that most of the time you know his weakness, you know his strength.
Over familiarity.
That level of familiarity will cause a kind of disrespect. It's normal. But it doesn't mean that you don't love him. It doesn't mean that you don't. But there are some things that he will tell you. Just say, let me just seek second opinion because you will not take me serious.
Like higher, so you believe the pastor has higher authority to confirm what the husband is saying?
Mostly. Not even, at times, not even pastor, at times friends.
Okay, let's pause it a while. Let me take it to Auntie B.
Okay, so the question I want to ask is, we realize that in some homes,
Yeah.
when we have a case where the woman is actually respecting the pastor so much, probably there's a message that was preached and said, okay, respect your husband. And the woman comes home and says, what's the newcomer? They say she respects you. And yes, no, don't give me the respect. Respect your pastor. Don't worry. How do we manage that? Because the woman is now she's like a pretender. And your husband seems like, I don't want it, just give it to your pastor. So and it sometimes can be emotional.
Yeah.
So how do we balance that?
You see, let me put it this way. This is where wisdom comes to play. You telling your husband what to make a man, that means it wasn't from you. It's just because they said it. You understand?
So what's the best way to, some people do that. So what's the best way to actually do it without telling your husband sarcastically? Because some people do it openly.
Actually, should you be told to respect your husband? I think that is why counseling is key before marriage. See, the Bible says we should give honor to whom honor is due. There are people whom honor are due in our life, and there are many. You give them their individual honor, and when you dishonor them, it will backfire. Now, I'm putting myself in the shoe of the man. If my wife comes to tell me that one thing come
Yes.
respect him, I'll just say okay. But because I don't see you doing it, I see you being compelled
to do it.
So it's very key we understand that there is place for wisdom, and a good pastor must not say something that will cause conflict in the home. You know, there was a woman that came to meet a pastor and was discussing certain things that my husband is not this, is not that. So the pastor gave the woman a counsel and said, go buy me TomTom 1 pack. Buy me 1 pack. I want to pray on it. Anytime your husband starts misbehaving, just put one in your mouth and don't talk. You understand? And the woman was like, okay, no problem. And the woman went bought 2 packs of TomTom. After 6 months, the woman came to me, the pastor, kneeling down and said, pastor, you're a true man of God. That TomTom is like, it's a miracle working, you understand, power. But the pastor had to explain to her that I'm only teaching you the power of silence. And there is respect in silence. Because when you decide, when your husband is talking to you and you have all the answer, it's a sign that you don't respect him. Now, that doesn't take away the fact that you are not free to express yourself and explain yourself, but at least let him learn. You know, there are some women, not only women, we don't need to, but there are some women that before their husband land, they have answer. They have answer. As the husband is saying one, they will say it. I know where you are going, honey. Just wait, let me land. You understand? So I think they don't know that it's dishonor. There are so many things that are done in dishonor that we don't even know, but because of the familiarity, we just do it, and some of these things, they backfire. Because the same man will go outside, meet a pretender. I will use the word a pretender that will be like like a saint. I will tell you, put your head here. Tell me the secret of your power until you vomit all your money there. What was the man looking for? The man wasn't looking for sex. The man was looking for somebody that will honor him. Somebody that will appreciate him.
But sir, let me come from there. Don't you think honor is reciprocal? A wife that you don't appreciate, that you don't value, that you've already put down. Because one thing I believe is, for every action that happens in the home, there's always a foundational problem.
Absolutely.
how did they start? Is that how they started? For a woman that is saying something bad back to the husband, is that the way she was when they started their relationship? Because at times, we just look at the outcome of something, we don't know where it is coming from.
Yeah.
Where are the two of them coming from? Is there value? As if, okay, we say a man is asking for submission, and the woman is asking for something. When the Bible says women should love their husband and the men should love their wife, and a wife should submit. The issue we have is we are looking for who is going to do what first. Why is she not submissive to me? So I can't love her, then I'm going to give my love to somebody else. So I think we need to see this thing from the basis. Before a woman will be showing some attribute to the husband, I think maybe the husband has not been doing his duty well, or he has not been doing some things. Maybe there's a foundational problem. That's just my opinion about.
You're absolutely correct. But when we look at it, this is where the balance still comes in. Before you get married, at least in this part of the world, I believe it should be like 18 years.
Of course.
Now, 18 years of different background.
Sure.
Now, the man, at least a responsible man, should marry at the age of maybe 21. 21 years of different background. The challenge is that most of the time we want everything to fuse within a day. I was counseling a couple, and I was telling them that, see, before you begin to understand yourself perfectly, it should take at least, let's give it the years you are spending in your father's house before marrying. It's gradual. It's gradual. Now, the true story, that's why counseling, there is safety in counseling. You keep learning. Once you stop learning, you start dying. So you keep learning on how to make the home work. Now, concerning submission, the two parties has to submit to one another. You see, when you love, you will submit. That's why the Bible was laying emphasis on love your spouse. You can't love and not submit. It's just like when a man is trying to woo a lady. Anytime the lady has a need, the man will be the first macho. Tell me what you need. The man is indirectly submitting his resources. When we are still talking about submission, what are we talking about? Submitting your ego. You understand? You have to submit something. You understand? So when we look at it critically, I stand to be corrected though. I will say this. That's why most of the time when you enter marriage, they give you a certificate until you finish. You keep learning in marriage, but you must. One of the things that are key ingredients of a successful home is that you must learn respect. You must learn respect. It's not something that is inborn. You learn it. You learn it.
Okay. Auntie Vicky, I know you have a lot of things to ask, but you don't know where to start from.
Honestly.
Well, let's hear
Pastor
from you.
Nixon, thank you. You've
You're
actually
welcome.
shed a bit of light. But, in my place of study, I've come to realize some things that let me coin the question this way. How can you curb this in the society? Because as it is right now, it has become a societal thing that women tends to honor the pastor more than their husband. To an extent, in my place of study, I noticed that, yes, the Bible told us, which we believe about, that our husband is like a God. And he said, just as God is the head of Christ is the head of the church, likewise the husband is the head of the woman and the home. Now, there are some spiritual things a woman expects from the man, or some things, and I find out that some men don't even carry it out. And I have issues that I cannot even hold hands with my husband to pray, for example, and I run to my pastor. The most problems we have is either financial problems and marital issues. And I notice that women tend to talk to their priest.
Absolutely.
Because the man in the house is not a priest. As in, has chosen not to be a priest. Not because he does not want to be a priest or cannot be a priest. Because in a place of study, they say he's the head. And anything that is missing, once the head is missing, the neck cannot perform.
Absolutely.
So the truth about it is, how do men also contribute
or take up their responsibility of manhood? Because I think
not allowing the woman tend. I'm not
to
saying
find solace in the pastor.
In the
because
pastor.
I believe that is, sorry, Mama, I understand your point of view, because it will even lessen the burden we place on the
man of
pastor.
God.
Because if the husband has taken up the role, because
it.
before you say you want to go and see the pastor, that means something is missing in the home.
Exactly.
Do you understand? So I think we need to address the men taking up that responsibility.
I think it's a bit, we are going into a more deeper pool now.
Okay.
It's not the way it is, or it's not the way it looks.
Okay.
You see, every man has worries. Now, every man has worries. Now, you want your husband to also take the work of the pastor of the home, but your husband or your spouse is so busy trying to see how to meet up bills.
Okay.
Now, there is the normal what's it called, standard. But when you start demanding the duty of a pastor from your husband, and your husband is not a pastor, you are bugging and putting him under stress.
Okay.
Listen, all of us, we are children of God.
Yes.
That's the truth. Even you, have you not seen the power of, what's the name of this movie? War Room.
War Room, yes.
So if your husband is not praying, you pray.
Yes, definitely.
You understand?
Definitely.
But I think this is what the balance really is all about. Do you have confidence in him?
That's it.
It's about confidence. There are men that doesn't pray, but when they tell their wife, don't worry, we'll get it.
Okay.
The wife relax because she believes the word of her husband. So have you been able to build confidence so much so in your spouse or your husband that when he tells you, don't worry, wait, you can wait enough, not running about to meet a pastor?
Okay.
Because these things is about balancing.
True.
The reason why you're going to meet a pastor is because somehow you have lacked, sorry to use it, but it's a direct word, you have lacked the confidence or hope in just waiting on both of you.
Okay.
You just want someone whose job is consistently.
Who hears God faster?
Whose job is consistently.
Sharp.
You understand? The major, if not for now, that at least the major duty of a pastor is to spend time with God
Yes.
before any other thing. So you most of the time, the reason why people look for their pastors is because they know that he must have spent time with God. So whatever I'm telling him, I should have a godly counsel.
Okay.
But most of the time, when you build so much confidence in your spouse, your husband, at times it will lessen the work of the pastor.
Okay, Baba, in a place of building confidence and the man has not placed himself, you see, most times we are a bit one-sided, but the truth about it, a lot of things go around. Women, you must submit, irrespective of whether the man loves you, he doesn't love you.
Must adapt,
you must adapt, you must
cope.
all those things center around. We women are actually at the receiving end.
Well, are the men even ready to even?
Exactly.
Because it could
you have not placed me in a place to give you to put confidence in you as my husband. I mean, the truth. You have not placed me in that place, in that position, and because you have not attributed it, your action doesn't speak. The ways and manner you do things doesn't speak for me to have confidence in you.
Let me tell you one truth. If you are also privileged to stay in with your pastor,
Okay.
Because the pastor is the husband.
for 1 year, you may give up.
I want to say something. This thing you're saying, I realize there's a lot of things on the receiving end of programs.
True.
What do we tell the men that this is what you're supposed to do? Your wife is expecting this from you. As a man.
That's it.
Sir,
As a man,
I don't want to be sentimental about it. I know you are a man. I know you will support your gender.
So what you're trying to say is that every man has his own weakness. right?
Oh,
That's
definitely.
Every man has weakness.
we know.
Everybody.
So, but what
Yeah.
there are some men actually are supposed to know some right things.
Exactly.
So that it won't be as we are just supposed to submit, receive,
Even if you look at
accept.
it, sir, if I may ask you, from the people that have been coming to you for counseling,
Women.
I want no, let him say it himself. As in, what ratio of men to women come
Yeah.
to see you for counseling?
Okay, this is it. In every religious settings or organization, we are spiritual though, but in every religious organization, you see women more.
Okay.
Except there are some religious settings that are deliberate about not wanting to see women.
Okay.
Now, the reason is not far-fetched. Even in Jesus' ministry, we heard that there were women that were sponsoring in the books of Luke 9, that there were women that were giving consistently to the ministry of Jesus. We didn't read about the men giving. Now, when we look at it, before any society or any place can really stand, we need women to manage the place.
Sure. Sure.
Now, back to your question. What can we tell the men?
Yeah.
The truth is that, sorry to use, I'm a man, but you see, ego,
We not allow.
ego, we don't allow women So what
Exactly. So what can we
women
do?
can do, I usually say
Not
this,
what women say, not what women can do. What
do.
men?
He said, okay, he said ego we not allow. Okay, so what do you want us to do?
this is the key. I want to give
Why are we
you
the one, sir, why are we the one keep having to do?
you have to do because you are the one that must
Submit.
You are the receiving end.
Okay.
When a man carries his bag down and decides to go to another state, he can be forming single. You understand? But he can be forming single. Most of the time, but this is the key. See, every man's ego can be brought down.
Okay.
How?
Good. There is a story I usually refer to in the scripture. It's the story of the strongest man I've seen in the scripture, physically. And the woman called Delilah. As strong as Samson was, he has ego. You can't have power and not have ego. You have a level of ego. So, but somehow, Delilah knows how to calm him down. Delilah will tell him, honey, Samson will smile, put your head here. He will give him drink.
And I want to kill you.
You are going to another level. That's another level.
He will tell you, honey, I want to kill you.
But Pastor, can I say something? I see women, at least I've been opportune to counsel some women that, to my knowledge, they do everything within their
Submission
to satisfy the man. But yet, the man is not even forthcoming.
That's the foundational problem. That's different. That's the foundational problem, and that's why before you marry, when people come to me and they say pray, I'll say I'll handle the spiritual, but the physical, you go and handle it. Love is not enough for marriage. Love is not enough. There are some things that must be put to check, and these are part of the things I do tell people. When you want to marry someone, ask yourself a question: can I live with this person? Some of the things you are trying to look away from during courtship, after marriage, it will speak. So after, like someone wanted to marry, someone married actually, they've been in
the marriage for about 13 years or thereabout, and she came for counseling that she doesn't know what to do about her husband's drinking habit. And initially we were praying, Father, step in. And suddenly the Lord said to me, ask her some questions. So I asked her, before you got married, your husband, was he drinking? She said, actually there is just little.
Yes,
We even sit down at times, we just sit down, we just take just one cup, we're sharing. I said, you don't expect somebody to remain in the same class for 13 years. And she has to advance, or he has to advance. It's either you drop out or you advance. So if it's something that has started before you're married, the only thing you can do now is to keep praying, Father Kusinu. You understand? Because it's a problem you are aware of before entering. So when there are some problems it's not something that developed in the course of the marriage. If it's something that developed in the course of the marriage, you are the one that will retrace your step. How have I pushed this man? You understand? What are the things I've done that has made this man to look away? But if it's something that except we want to just close our eyes to say, in courtship women see.
True.
In courtship women see.
No.
Sure, because of pressure. The marriage must happen.
Exactly.
You understand? Men
Men to have pressure there.
Men don't usually see.
You don't see, but you have pressure to pressure a woman. I must get married fast, so they say I should get married fast. So don't say it is only women that want to marry because of pressure. You two want to get married. You want to settle down. You want somebody that will be washing your boxer, cooking for you. So don't make it look as if it is only women that want to marry. Sir, we need to balance. Our time is on. We need to really.
Hold on.
Sorry.
You said something, and I said I was going to go back on it. That
Like 2 minutes.
just 2 minutes, and I need you to just expatiate on that. Now, I'm still going to go back to the Bible that says our husband is supposed to be our head.
Absolutely.
Now, the truth about it is this: most men don't take responsibility of the headship.
Okay.
And now you have put the woman, you have boxed her in a corner that she will have to seek solace somewhere else. Now, I'm not speaking for women that honor their pastor. I'm not speaking against either. Don't you think some of them have genuine reasons for doing it, even though it is not right, and it has to come because of the man's attitude towards his wife?
Actually, you were right. There was a man in the Bible called David, and there was a lady called Abigail, and this lady married a man who was a drunk. And then one day David sent his men, go, we need food. We heard that this man is celebrating. Please get us food. And the man was like, who is David? Who is that bush boy? He insulted David, but the wife quickly gathered some men and gathered food, gathered everything to meet with David. We learned that the man later died. By the time he got to know that, he has messed up against David. But this is where it comes up. That is why, as a woman, you must be wise. When you are a conductor and your driver is sleeping and you don't know how to drive, then the life of all the passengers are at risk. But when you are a conductor and your driver is misbehaving and you know how to drive, take the steering. Don't wait until there is an accident before you look for somebody to blame. You understand? So it's really about knowing what to do in your home. It's your home. So if you say it's his responsibility too, but I don't care. The home will end up in a ditch, and everybody will be blamed.
Well, thank you very much, sir. We would agree less. Well, we will take our responsibility. They've said we should take the steering and we should drive. So now, listen also, by the time we now take the authority, the power, the steering, and we are in charge, no man should say, they are intimidating us, women move.
I said, why didn't you say the wise? And I said, the wise woman. Women, we have work to do.
Let's take our responsibility. We accept that we are stronger than you men. You should be the one that should say you are wicked versus let's
strike the balance. As a matter of fact, the Bible says that we should honor them as unto a weaker vessel. So don't let us compare power. It's not about power.
That's it.
It is about responsibility. Responsibility. your ability to respond. So there are some homes that the husband is the wife, give or take.
True.
The things the wife is doing, the husband can't move near it.
At all. You're right.
There are homes like that. We've seen Deborah even in the scripture. So it's really about when you are married together. The two are one. So when you see a weakness, cover it up.
And in a situation, this is very, very wide. In a situation whereby the man is insecure, there are some men that if they see that their woman is taking responsibility, they feel, oh, she's trying to take off my as in, you can't provide something, you can't take responsibility, and you are still, and you don't even want to accept the woman, you are feeling intimidated by the woman's power. So it's deep, but to just round up this set, because if we say we should continue to digress this thing, how I wish I bring your wife here so that she will just come about. Let's just leave her beside.
No. As it is, we're women. You have heard it all.
Yes,
our pastor has said it all.
That we should take responsibility
of our
respectfully.
So honor your husband above any other.
So, honor your husband in the Lord.
Yes, in the Lord.
And one last word for the men.
I love that word.
In the Lord.
As a matter of fact, the Bible actually said that.
Yes.
The reason why the Bible put it in the Lord.
Yeah.
There are some satanic husbands.
How will you now follow a man that is not following the way of God? And all of you now follow
say we should apply this.
That is why the Bible says wisdom is profit. You understand? Nobody will like you to rub it on his face.
Oh, definitely.
You understand? You see, if in counseling, if you catch a thief and you want to counsel him out of stealing, if you keep telling him you are a thief, I say you are a thief, he may not listen to you.
True.
But when you start by making him understand that when you take things that are not yours, people call it stealing.
the communication skill.
You understand? So most of the time, there are some women, they will tell you me umoroso, and there are husbands umoroso.
Okay.
So when the two,
That's good. Thank you very much, Pastor Nixon. Thank you for coming. We're going to bring you back here again to continue part 2. This must definitely have a part 2. Then by then, I'm going to bring your wife here on this seat so that we'll talk about deeper things.
no problem.
Deeper things. But before we go, just give our men out there that are watching us just one piece of advice, and our women watching based on this topic of discussion and based on what we said we wanted them to be, like what she emphasized on men taking their responsibility. Let it be. Don't say because my wife can do it, because I can't do it now, it now become redundant. Let us tell them to take it up. Men, they don't actually, I think maybe psychologically, women will tend to speak out more than men. Men bottle up issues. Please advise men to open up. To talk to them. So I think maybe you should organize more seminars whereby you can talk, rub minds together. At least real men. At least all these messages we are giving you, as it tell them, discuss it among yourself on how to make things better. Because making a home successful is a teamwork of the man and the woman. So don't always put the blame on the women. We women, we are emotionally drained at times. We could be emotionally drained at times.
No. We are not putting blames, and we can't, on women or the men. No, I think we are still talking about striking the balance. But this is the word that we have for men out there.
Okay.
Love covers multitude of sins. Love forgives. Love your wife. Love your wife, if possible, as yourself. If more possible, even more than yourself. Always remember that it takes a very foolish man to slap himself.
Oh, definitely.
Very foolish. So if you can't slap yourself, why will you slap your spouse? You understand? So I will advise all the men out there, please love your wife. There are times to ignore. Women are wired to talk. If they don't talk, they are not comfortable.
We must talk.
They are not comfortable. If you are not listening, pay attention.
There's a difference between listening and just being attentive. Just show face.
Shama Solo.
Let her
Express
learn.
herself.
And if you can't take it, pretend as if you are sleeping. When you wake up, you can continue. But this is it. This is it for the women. I beg you, respect your spouse, respect your pastor. There is no reason to disrespect. If you are not kneeling down for your husband, it doesn't make sense to kneel down for your pastor.
Definitely, sir. Definitely.
It doesn't make sense. See, the reason why most of the time I've learned how to associate with people at different levels is because I take it that if you greet me shabby, I believe that that's how, maybe that's your nature, that's just how you respond. Many people, it's not that they want to disrespect their spouse or their husband, but that's just who they are. There are some tomboys, women that you understand. Someone that is coming from that kind of background, you don't expect him to what you call respect is not what she calls respect.
Definitely.
But try, when you love, it will cover it.
That's it.
When you love, it will really cover it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. We are sorry for putting you on the hot seat, or putting an anointed man of God on the hot seat. We're very sorry for that, but I think we really enjoyed your session. Thank you, and I hope when next we call you, you come.
By God's grace.
Okay. So to our viewers, thank you very much for watching us. Thank you for being a part of this. Till we come your way again next time. Auntie Vicky, Auntie B. Say bye.